Hey babes, welcome back. And this is day two of me going live this week. If you are new here, I'm Shantae, and I am a wellness strategist, and I'm also a fibroid survivor. So that's why I talk a lot about fibroids, hormones, periods. So if that is something that you are interested in and you need help with right now, you are in the right place. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and get started. But before I get started, I want to give my disclaimer. So, any information that I'm sharing here today or any other day, but especially today, is not medical advice. I'm just sharing with you my personal experience and what I am doing right now, what is working for me right now. So today I'm sharing my supplement routine, or not my routine directly. So I did another video where I go over the supplements that I use. And that video is probably, I think I recorded that last year. I probably need to do another one this year with my exact supplements, but this video is actually more so about creating a framework for yourself for supplementation. So, personally, I don't believe that there is a one size fits all way or supplement program or supplement routine that works for everyone. I think it's important that you find what works for you individually. And so today I'm going to go over some things to help you make informed decisions about that and create a supplement routine that actually works, that's not just you just buying a whole bunch of supplements just for the sake of trying things, right? My framework that I'm going to share with you today is going to help you to get a more, just get a more personalized approach to supplementation instead of just listening to all the people on the internet and trying to figure out what works. So I'm going to jump into my framework. I got my notes here. So if you see me looking down, it's because I have my notes. And if you have any questions, be sure to drop them in the chat and I will try to answer them before the end of this. I'm going to try to keep this to less than 15 minutes. And I think that's totally doable. Okay, so the first thing that I want you to do when you are trying to figure out your supplementation and how you're going to be supplementing is going to your doctor. So this goes back to my disclaimer. Before you try any supplements or anything like that, I want you to consult a doctor or a healthcare provider first, or a wellness professional first. So that's first and foremost. Now, the reason that I want you to do this is not just because it's my disclaimer, but I want you to do this because when you go, particularly to your PCP, sometimes your gynecologist will do it at your women's well visit, but I prefer going to a PCP to do all my labs and blood work just because they do more, like they check more things, or at least that's been my experience. Now, I will say that it can be expensive or a little bit pricey depending on how your insurance works, but I really want you to actually go to your PCP and um, get all the testing that you need to make sure that you are where you need to be. Now, it's very common if you have fibroids, or if you have, or really for black women, it's very common for us to be have low vitamin D or low iron. Hopefully you don't fall into their category, but if you do, of course, you are going to add that to your supplement list. But that's going to be something that you're going to be looking for, is supplements for that. Some other things that you can look out for is I think when you do the full workup, they test your kidney function, they test your liver function, they test all that different stuff. And so you want to be looking out for any deficiencies there, right? And that's going to help you make more decisions about what supplements you actually need. So the first thing you do after you go get, your full workup done. Now, depending on what the results of that are, again, if you have some deficiencies that need to be addressed, go ahead and make your supplement list according to that first and foremost. Now, if you are like me and you go to the doctor, you had all the stuff tested and done, but you're like, I still don't feel that great, or I'm still not feeling my best. The last time that I had this done, that's how I was. I went, I did all the labs, did all the tests, everything came back. I think I had, was it either it was low D or low iron, but I still felt like it wasn't low enough for me to be feeling how I was feeling because I was start feeling very lethargic at the time. So I just decided to go ahead and buy a multivitamin. So if you fall into that category where you have everything checked, but they're still saying that everything looks great, all your results look great, I would try a multivitamin. At least that's what I did. And I like Ritual. That's the one that I use. I talk about it all the time on this channel because it super clean, super. I feel like it is priced really well. It's not going to be the cheapest one, but it's not the most expensive vitamin ever. I feel like it's a great value as far as that's concerned. And I do feel like I have felt better since I have started doing a multivitamin. So that's the one that I use, Ritual, and I will link that in my description when I finish this video. I'll put a link to that in the description. So go ahead, get a multivitamin. You can add that to your list if you can't really find anything, but you just know that you're still not feeling that great. That would be my suggestion. So that's going to be your foundational. I consider the addressing deficiencies and or taking a multivitamin, that I consider that like the foundational supplementation. That's just kind of the basics, what we need to do to get ourselves, close to or back up to base level of feeling well. So then my second thing that I like to do or the second thing that I suggest doing after you've gotten that squared away and you're consistent with that is now working on gut support. Now, this is something that I haven't really, previously, I hadn't really been that consistent in doing, but now I've been a lot better with that and I feel like I have noticed the difference. And so, with that, I have started taking again Ritual. I use their prebiotic. I think they call it a symbiotic, and it's like a prebiotic and postbiotic. It's all the biotics. So I use that for my gut support. But another thing that I do and that I suggest doing, whether you decide to take a probiotic or not, is that you are getting some fermented foods and some prebiotic fiber foods in your diet. So a lot of your fruits like apples are going to have your prebiotic fiber. You can even get it from oatmeal. That's going to have that good fiber that the your gut bacteria actually feeds on, or the good gut bacteria feeds on. So you want to do a probiotic and you want to make sure you're getting some prebiotics too in your diet as well as, or you can supplement it, but I suggest actually getting these things in your diet, getting those fermented foods in your diet because they are actually more likely to change your gut microbiome for the better Probiotics are just really hard. I feel like you need to experiment a little bit with probiotics because some people have reactions to them. You can have digestive discomfort, breakouts, all that stuff. So you probably might need to supplement with a probiotic for a while or test out what probiotic is going to work for you. Like I said, I use the ritual one, and I haven't had any kind of reactions to it. And when I was reading the reviews, a lot of people didn't have reactions to it, so that's why I ended up getting that one. But some of them can cause you to have reactions. That's actually normal. So keep that in mind. As long as it's not severe, it might just be something that you need to kind of just work through. So my third part of my framework is to do some liver support. Now, there are tons of supplements out there. There are supplements that have a couple different herbs in them. You can even do teas that help to detox and support the liver. But I do suggest if you have fibroids, especially getting some kind of supplementation, whether it's a tea, whether it's a supplement that is going to support liver detoxification and give you liver support. Now, right now, I'm experimenting with a green tea supplement, and I'm gonna report back on that later. But right now, I'm experimenting with that, and I will let you guys know the results and what I think about using green tea as like your liver supporting supplement. And I shared in another video how green tea has actually been shown to shrink fibroids. So, like I said, we'll see what happens. I will let you guys know after I've tried that for a couple months consistently what the results are and what I think about it. So, stay tuned for that. But there again are different teas you can do. I actually like doing a tea for this instead of a supplement. But for the sake of my little experiment, I'm using a supplement. But there are tons of teas that have herbs in them that are great for your liver that actually taste good. So that is something that you can add to your routine or regimen. Now, the last thing that I suggest adding to your regimen is a uterus supporting either supplement, herb, tea, any any kind of uterus supporting herb. And so that would be something like red raspberry leaf tea. You can use that. That helps to tone the uterus. And it does help with cramps as well. So using something like that to also help to get that blood flow or improve blood flow to your uterus can be helpful as well. There are lots of blends for women's support. There's this brand called Jaida Che. I think it's based in Atlanta. So I order teas and stuff from them. And they actually will have teas in all of the categories that I mentioned today. So if you don't want to take a supplement, or you like me, you just like tea, I highly recommend that brand. Now, one thing that I do want to mention with this framework is that I suggest doing one new supplement at a time, doing one new part of it at a time. And it's going to take you about 3 months to know whether, a supplement is right for you. But I don't recommend doing all the things at one time because you want to be able to know, like, if you have a reaction to something, if something is not working for you, you want to be able to know that right away. Now, I'm not sitting here telling you that following this framework is going to for sure shrink fibroids, but I will tell you this: you will definitely feel better. I feel better since doing this. And so I think making sure that you're getting the right type of support with fibroids, making sure that you are supplementing properly for your body is going to be super helpful for you. Oh, one thing that I forgot to mention for gut support is taking a digestive enzyme. So I've talked about probiotics and prebiotics, but also a digestive enzyme that has been super helpful for me when it comes to bloating. If I'm eating a carbier meal, which I don't do a lot, but when I do, I try to take a digestive enzyme with it. And I notice that it makes a huge difference when it comes to bloating. So that is another way that you can support your gut and support digestion as well, is through enzymes. I think that is everything in my notes. Let me make sure I don't have any questions up here. And if you are watching, if you came in late, or if you are watching this after the fact, feel free to drop your questions in the comments and I will do my best to answer them. And like I said, I will link, what did I mention in this video? I will link Rituals multivitamin and their probiotic because I really like both of those. So I'll link those in the description. But thank you so much for joining me today. And I hope I will see you again tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central Time. Talk to you guys later.